Imagine a town where smoke seeps from cracks in the ground, where the highway is buckled and broken, and where an underground fire has been burning for over 60 years. This isn't the setting for a horror movie. This is the real and truly haunting story of Centralia, Pennsylvania. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying into the heart of what's often called America's most famous modern ghost town. The story of Centralia is a chilling reminder of how a single mistake can lead to an environmental catastrophe that erases a community from the map. So, grab a seat and let's uncover the secrets smoldering beneath the streets of Centralia. Our story begins in the 1960s. Centralia was a small but thriving borough in Pennsylvania's coal country. With a population of over 1,000 people, it had schools, churches, businesses, and generations of families who called it home. The ground beneath their feet was rich with anthracite coal, the very resource that had built the town and provided its livelihood. But that same resource would ultimately become its downfall. So, how did a town built on coal end up being consumed by it? The exact cause is still debated by some, but the most widely accepted story starts in May of 1962. The town council was trying to clean up the local landfill before the upcoming Memorial Day celebration. The landfill, ironically, was located in an abandoned strip mine pit. The plan was simple: set a controlled fire to burn away the trash. Firefighters were on hand to manage the blaze and extinguish it once the job was done. And they did. They doused the flames with water, and on the surface, everything looked fine. But they missed something. Deep within the pit, an unsealed opening led directly into the labyrinth of abandoned coal mines that snaked beneath the entire town. A few stray embers found their way into that opening, and they landed on a rich vein of anthracite coal. And just like that, the fire began its slow, unstoppable journey underground. For the first few years, nobody really noticed. Life in Centralia went on as usual. There were subtle signs, of course strange smells, smoke wafting from unusual places, but residents dismissed them. This was coal country, after all. The smell of sulfur wasn't entirely out of the ordinary. But the fire beneath their feet was growing, spreading through the interconnected mine tunnels like a monstrous, slow-moving dragon. By the late 1970s, the problem became impossible to ignore. The ground started to get hot. People noticed their basements were unusually warm. Snow would melt in strange patterns on the ground during winter. And then came the visible evidence. Steam and toxic gases, including deadly carbon monoxide, began venting from cracks that appeared in the earth, right in people's backyards and even through their basement floors. The situation became a full-blown crisis. In 1979, a gas station owner, Mayor John Coddington, discovered the temperature of the gasoline in his underground tanks was a blistering 172 degrees Fahrenheit or 78 degrees Celsius. The risk of a massive explosion was terrifyingly real. The station was immediately closed. The town was sitting on a time bomb, and the fuse was lit. But the event that truly brought national attention to Centralia's plight happened in 1981. A 12-year-old boy named Todd Dembowski was playing in his grandmother's backyard when the ground suddenly gave way beneath him. A sinkhole, 4 feet wide and over 150 feet deep, opened up, belching hot steam and toxic gas. Todd clung desperately to a tree root as the hole tried to swallow him whole. His cousin managed to pull him to safety just in time. If he had fallen in, he would have been lost forever. This near-fatal incident was the final straw. It proved that the ground itself was no longer stable or safe. The federal government finally had to step in. In 1982, Congress allocated more than $40 million to relocate the residents of Centralia. It was a voluntary program, but the choice was stark: accept a buyout for your home and move, or stay and risk your life every single day. This decision tore the community apart. Some families, seeing the undeniable danger, took the money and left immediately, eager to start a new life on stable ground. But others refused. This was their home. Their families had lived here for generations. They couldn't bear to abandon their history, their memories, and the only life they'd ever known. They argued that the dangers were being exaggerated, and they fought to stay. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Centralia slowly vanished. As residents moved out, their homes were demolished to prevent them from being resold or becoming hazards. One by one, the houses, the shops, the churches, they were all torn down, leaving empty lots overgrown with weeds. The grid of streets remained, but the town itself was disappearing. What was once a bustling community of over 1,000 people dwindled to just a handful of defiant residents. The The state eventually used eminent domain to condemn the remaining properties in 1992, effectively evicting the last holdouts. However, a small group fought a long legal battle, and in 2013, they reached a settlement that allowed them to live out the rest of their lives in Centralia. Today, the population can be counted on one hand. Walking through Centralia now is a surreal and eerie experience. The most iconic feature is the graffiti highway, a stretch of the old Route 61. The road was abandoned because the heat from the underground fire caused it to buckle, warp, and split open. Over the years, visitors covered every inch of the pavement with colorful graffiti and messages. It became a strange, unintended art installation, a vibrant memorial on a dead road. Though, it's worth noting that in 2020, the highway was covered with dirt by the property owner to deter tourism, but the legend lives on. You can still see signs of the fire today. Smoke and steam continue to rise from vents and cracks in the ground, especially on cold or damp days. The landscape is scarred, and warning signs advise of the dangers of unstable ground and toxic gases. It feels like a post-apocalyptic movie set, a place where nature is slowly reclaiming what was lost. And what about the fire itself? It's still burning. Experts estimate there's enough coal under Centralia to fuel the fire for another 250 years. It's a subterranean inferno that will likely outlive us all, a slow-motion disaster with no end in sight. The story of Centralia is a complex tragedy. It's a story about an environmental disaster, but it's also a story about community, loss, and incredible resilience. It serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the unintended consequences of our actions and our relationship with the natural resources we depend on. It's a ghost town not because of spirits, but because of the palpable absence of what used to be the absence of life, laughter, and the simple hum of a small town. What do you all think about this incredible story? Can you imagine having to make the choice to leave your lifelong home? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm always curious to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the smoldering heart of Centralia. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the world's most interesting places and stories. Until next time, stay curious.